bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. You know, somebody asked me, why do you give the phone number out the first thing and you didn't ask anybody to do anything? And I said, the reason I give the phone number out is so if people want to text us or say something, they can. Also, if people want to call, 833-212-1017. They can. If they want to go to YouTube at 101.7 The Truth, they can. Why is that? Because all those things assist us and help us in doing what we do today. And I talked about that a little yesterday, and I talked about some of the things that we kick around and discuss here on Milwaukee Black Talk. And so sometimes it's important to go into some things that really make us who we are, really create the person, the persona, the entertainer, the entity that is what we call 101.7 The Truth. And so we think about what we do in life, and we think about all the things that we endeavor to complete. And we have to ask ourselves the question, what effort, or I guess I'm asking you and me at the same time, what effort do you put forward to complete like monumental tasks that change lives? Do you think about everything that you do? Yeah, we do things for ourselves, but what effort do you put forward to complete monumental tasks that actually change lives? That's the question. Not what you want to do, what you dream about, what you post online, not what you talk about at the barbershop, at church, at a meeting, family cookout, all that. But what effort do you actually put forward? We complain about a lot of stuff that we do, and we complain about other people stopping us as black people from doing things. But we have to ask ourselves the question each and every day, what are we doing? What effort are we actually putting forward? Because monumental things don't happen by accident. We want to change Milwaukee, but there's some things that are built in, that are systematic, that are policy-based, that won't change, that constrains this city. Pursuing a college degree, that's monumental. Breaking a generational curse, that's monumental. When you've never owned property in your family, in your life, and you own property, that's monumental. Raising children who actually feel safe and loved and educating them, that's monumental. Building wealth where there was once only survival, living from paycheck to paycheck, that's monumental. Starting a business, staying married, recovering from addiction, changing your mindset is monumental. Yet many black people, and I'm only speaking to black people, you're always beating up black people. Yes, I am. That includes me. Many black people want monumental results, but y'all putting out recreational effort. We live in a culture that's addicted to outcome and allergic to process. We don't want to do what it takes. We want to just give it to us. Everybody wants a microphone like I got. They want to complain about it, go on YouTube chat, talk all the trash. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. Few people want the midnight, the hours before preparing, the days before booking guests and talent and all that stuff. Few people want consistency. Everybody tells, oh, be blessed. You know what that means, though? That takes work. That means that takes discipline, and few people want discipline. The truth is, life-changing accomplishments are usually built in the dark, in silence, where nobody applauds the late nights and early mornings I spent, the time I spent reading. Nobody celebrates reading. Nobody hands out trophies for doing your budget. Nobody claps because you stayed focused instead of being distracted. And nobody sees the nights and the days you stayed home instead of wasting money because you didn't have it, trying to impress people who you won't even remember in 5 years. But it's the small decisions, the individual, the invisible habits, those repeated acts of discipline. That's where monumental change, and I mean big change, occurs. We always think we're going to do a big thing to get a big result. You've been conditioned to think monumental means dramatic, but really it's quiet. You could be a dad just showing up to pick kids up from school every day. You could be a mother going back to school to get your nursing degree. You could be a young man choosing books over going out on the block. You could be a young woman that chooses peace over chaos. You could be a family that decides, you know what, dysfunction is going to end now. That's monumental because people underestimate the power of accumulated effort. They want everything all at once. One workout, some of y'all, whoo, can we tell the truth? Some of y'all's overweight, some of y'all fat, and then some of y'all obese. One workout is not going to change your body. I want to change my life. I have to be more in touch with God. One prayer ain't going to change your spirit. And if you're going back to school, one class ain't going to change your career. One investment won't change your finances. But repeated, compounded effort, disciplined effort over time changes everything. And I can attest to that. Sometimes I debate what I'm going to say, but then what the heck? Black people in Milwaukee, y'all waiting to be rescued instead of building a routine. You're waiting on politicians, you're waiting on grants, you're waiting on scholarships, you're waiting on luck. You're waiting on somebody to discover you. You're waiting on that monumental, magical moment, and history shows us something completely different. Successful people were not discovered. They were prepared. Preparation takes effort, consistency, effort, learning, effort, healing, effort, leadership, effort. The problem is effort is uncomfortable. And that's why many of y'all quit. Because momentum, movement, turns into a monumental task. A monumental task requires you to become somebody different while you're building them. But you want all your friends to like you. You can't build a new life thinking the old way. You can't be thinking about Model T Fords but trying to invent a new electric car. You can't create wealth but then keep spending all your money. And if you want to become exceptional, that means you can't be comfortable. Growth costs. Not money. Sleep, ego, friends, image. And sometimes it costs the version of yourself that no longer serves you in your future. Somebody told me the other day, you've changed. Watch this. You used to be a blankety blank. And I said, no, I'm that same blankety blank. I just made an adjustment. Because every major accomplishment you admire once looked impossible, exhaustive, and inconvenient. The business owner who had no customers, the homeowner with bad credit, the graduate who struggled in class, the leader who doubted themselves, the healthy person who once felt broken. That was me. The radio station with no listeners. 101.7 The Truth. We had to go through the same process every radio station in America went through. Nobody skips the process. People see the graduation picture, they just don't see the studying that went behind it. They see the luxury car, they don't see the sacrifices and the hard work and the late nights and early mornings. People see a successful marriage anniversary, they don't see the counseling, the compromise, the hard conversations. You see the polished version of a person's life without understanding the effort that it took to build it. And you can't just be motivated. Motivation fades. Feelings change. Energy fluctuates. But if you got a system, if you got a habit, if you got a discipline, that is what carries people across the finish line. And I guess in Black Milwaukee, that's really the real issue because, I'm working on it. I'm getting there. Where? When? Like, what are you waiting to feel ready? You'll never, ever. We waiting to get married because, we want to have everything right. It ain't going to never be right. We waiting on the right time to have kids. It ain't going to never be kids. They are going to be a nuisance, and they are going to be an interruption whether you want them or not. But readiness is created through movement, and movement, little by little, you feel confident. You feel prepared. You actually grow while you work. And that's how transformation happens. You read a book one page at a time. You spend money $1 at a time. You work out one workout at a time. You go to class one 50-minute hour at a time. You have a conversation one word at a time. You're disciplined one decision at a time. And eventually, I looked up and small became massive. The first bachelor's degree became a second one, and the second one became a master's, and a master's became another master's, and a master's became a PhD, and a PhD became a postgraduate certificate. That's how communities change. That's how people change. That's how families change, bloodlines change, not through one big, giant act. You all know the people that have won money in one fell swoop are usually broke in 5 years. There's a reason for that. No system. Sustained effort over time. So when somebody asks you, what effort did you put forward to complete a monumental task that changed lives. And I've got other questions I'm going to ask you in the 5 o'clock hour. I submit to you, look at this. You ever considered this? Today, as of the end of this live broadcast at 6 o'clock p.m., today, March 12th, 2026, I submit to you, 101.7 The Truth has presented at the end of this. Now remember, today, at the end of today, not including rebroadcasts and weekends, we have completed 15,312 hours of show after show after show, live programming of Black Milwaukee Talk to You.
Damn.
And you may ask, how? It's simple. Every show, taking every minute of every hour by making small, consistent amounts of effort. Every minute, every hour, every day, every week. You know what we call that? Success.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth. Coming with straight truth.
One can invest their whole life and effort in helping the community, and sometimes they don't get nothing back. But you know what? You keep on going with it, okay? God bless you. Happy upcoming Father's Day. And hang on in there and Tori, don't worry about what nobody say about you, because they're going to talk about you anyway, because they can't do what you do.
Catch the Tori Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you're so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents. For more information, search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online.
Want to save money on energy bills? With free tools from We Energies, you're in control. Manage your energy use with easy tips, earn rebates on home upgrades, calculate your energy use, create savings goals, view and compare bills, and more. With We Energies, the energy info you need is at your fingertips. Save your way at weenergies.com/simple savings or download the app. We Energies, simple steps, real savings.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Like a moth to a flame burned by the fire. My love is blind, can't you see my desire? That's the way love goes.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. 72 degrees. The high is 73, so I don't know if we're going any much higher. Low is 45, and 15% chance of rain. It is Tuesday, right? They said it was going to rain today, so I guess we'll see what's happening with that. Let me check the talk and text line. Dr. Ken, I also have ADHD. It's from Todd. I have great difficulty being able to focus while reading. I rely on audiobooks. Do you use audiobooks? Let me see. Do I use audiobooks? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I have 552 titles in my audiobooks on Audible. Yes, I do. If not, how do you focus your mind without drifting away from your reading? I always do something while I'm reading. I'll eat something. I'll listen to something on my phone. Just dribble in my ear, you know, even if it's white noise. And then I'll just start doing it, and it helps me concentrate. And then when I drift off, there's nothing there but noise, and then I go back to reading. That's the only way I can do it. Going to school was really hard for me for all the years. And that's why I had to change my location every time. You know, I would go to Barnes & Noble when it was at Bayshore, when the mall was enclosed. Then I went to Barnes & Noble when it was like I had to go to different places and Starbucks, and I had to go to different places. You know, people, why do you always leave home? Because if I stay at home, I'm going to find 2,366 things to do other than doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm one of those people where if you drop something, I have to find it until I pick it up and throw it away. You know, if something is crooked, like I'm the guy that fixes the crooked picture on the wall. I can't do it in a museum. I wanted to, though. Like that's just, and so you find ways to make yourself successful. You find ways to figure out how you can create your own workaround. That's why it's important to talk to people and say, hey, I got this, I do this. What way do how do I do? And then people can give you ideas. And those are some of the questions I'm going to be asking a little later. What are some of the things that you do? And you'll call me, you know, and put yourself out on a limb and answer a question. It's going to be a random question, and you don't get the question before you call. You got to be tough. And so if Al and Sandra and Kathy and all them folks that call on a regular basis, if you dare, what's that old saying? If you froggish jump to the line and answer the question. I'm just saying. So before the break, we were talking about success and how we've had 15,311 hours, 10 hours and 23 minutes of live original programming. So my question to you is, has the truth been successful in bringing to you Milwaukee Black Talk? Like, that's not just our slogan, that's our mission, Milwaukee Black Talk. Have we been successful? 833-212-1017. Because some of y'all say yes, some of y'all say no. Some of y'all be like, I don't know. Have we been successful in our mission? I think we've given you information, we've given you topics, we've given you data, we've given you stories that you don't hear anywhere else. They're slanted because of the background and the thinking of the actual host. But I think by and large, you know, you get sources from where information comes from. You get information that, for by and large, you can kind of make up your own mind as to whether or not you agree or disagree and speak it, you know, speak your, I'll never say your truth, because truth stands on its own. It's either true or it's not. So whether you believe something to be true or believe something to not be true doesn't change the fact that it's true. So that's a lot. Think about that. I think we started January 5th or 2nd, something like that, 2021. The first Monday in January. I think it was the 5th. But there's only one way to find out. Let me check. Let me go back to 2021, January 4th. 4th. The 4th was on a Monday, 2021. Yep, the 4th. And been going ever since. 5 days a week, 11 hours a day, 260 days a year. Think about that. That's a lot. None of us can ever say, no one will ever know anything or hear anything you say because it is forever. And, you know, we talk about the internet is forever. It's really not. It's sitting on a server in a data farm somewhere. And if somebody destroys that computer, it's gone. People just don't. And they won't. But that's my question. Has the truth been successful in its mission to promote Milwaukee Black Talk? Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm good. I think they done very well, and what will be will be. But we'll let you know if you ain't no good during the process. We'll let you know if you're full of it. So hey, what will be will be. You know, they're taking a new adventure, and some of the people who come on that new adventure, if we think they ain't no good, if they feel us, we'll let them know. Put it like that. Whether you're black, white, Jew, whatever, if you ain't no good, we'll let you know. F your feelings. If this is the truth, this is the truth. The good go along with the bad, and the bad go along with the good. If we think you ain't no good, trust me, we will let you know.
Well, we didn't say we was going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
No, No, I ain't saying if you're good. No, I'm not saying you're going anywhere. I'm just saying a new adventure. So the new people that might be coming on, the new people who have their hands in the pot, because see, some of the hands that might be in the pot not be no good. But the truth will let you know.
Good. Thank you, Al. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
833-212-1017. You can always look to Al to tell you the truth. Let me see who's in the talking chat, who's in the YouTube chat. Hey, what's up, Quanda? I was talking about you earlier. What's up, Sincere? Sincere, you never told me where you lived. Lucretia, what's going on? Then they're getting that bestie, Lucretia, that nonsense. Hey, what's up, Willie? And I know it's May 12th, not March. Get over yourself. I get it. I said it wrong. You slipping, bro. Why I gotta be slipping to say something wrong? Why I gotta be slipping to say something wrong? No, play it. Now, you see, I paused. Right? Because my brain went, May. But because it was an M word, I went back. This is how my brain works. I went back to all the months that start with M, and I said March. How bizarre is that? My brain is like a whirlwind typhoon. Right now, it's like, and I'm thinking 29,000 different things at one time. And I have to pause sometimes for the Rolodex to stop rolling so I can go, okay, that one. So show some love. I got a disability. Was that deep? I got a disability. That was good, right? Sir Chance, you fired. Your black card's gone because you bashed a disabled black man. Hey, what's up, Curly Q? How you doing? Y'all so petty. Sincere said read out loud might help with concentration. Have you done that, Sincere? Because if it ain't helped your concentration, why would it help mine? Anyway, Jasmine said, yes, I barely even listen to blank to Dee Dee in the morning. Ooh. Since I started 2 or 3 months ago, I love listening to y'all, and I listen all day. Y'all give me substance. And that's what we want to do. We want to give you things that you don't hear anywhere else, national stuff that's going on, how it intersects with Milwaukee and all that stuff. Jasmine said, y'all give me something real to talk about with my family, friends, and the foster kids I drive. L. Dawson said, yes, the truth has been extremely successful. Quanda said, and that is Dr. Ken's truth. That play means exactly what if there is only the truth. Why is it then Dr. Ken's truth? Then make it make sense to me. Please explain. Oh, it's the contrarian. Bruh. See how you answer your own question? You see how you answer your own question? Quanda said, what wine you sipping? And you read slipping. Was that supposed to be a rhyme or something? Because that was pretty weak. Curly Q said, we didn't hear a thing, by the way. Thank you, Curly Q. Somebody got my back. Zach ain't even got my back. SE said, hey, Dr. Ken, skip me, and went right to Quanda. Where? I scrolled up. Oh, excuse me. SE was first. So you got to go in and click live chat. Okay. And that comes in different. So I'm just saying. Sorry, SE. I'm sorry. I apologize. Sincere say I live in Milwaukee with you. Well, you don't live with me. But Curly said, I prefer to read out loud. I can't read out loud. Quanda said, too smart for my own good. No, you're supposed to say, I'm too smart for my own good. That would make you okay, anyway. Y'all silly. You all are silly. Quanda said, you didn't hear my open, Quanda? You didn't hear the open? The open I talked about going back to school and getting a bachelor's degree? Critics say just the fact that we're all gathered in the chat is a measure of the success. Oh, isn't that special? Oh. So tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your aunties and uncles to come to the chat and subscribe. And then they too will hear us. Quanda said, now, Sir Chance said what wine you were sipping from his original message, and then you said it all wrong. You don't tell me how I say stuff. I say stuff. But it's just one of those things where some days I really don't want to be here. Y'all make my brain hurt because I got to sit there and talk. And then I get here, and I'm so glad that I was here. Other people avoid the word family, but I don't. It's a black thing. It's a cultural thing. Family. It's important. It is. All right. Mr. Lee, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here to cause trouble, huh?
You know, and that's the one thing. That's the one thing I called you guys in the beginning. I said, man, each of you guys sound like family. You sound like the things that go through my head. You sound like my concerns. You sound like, you know, the black community. You guys sound like us. And I don't care what radio stations I've ever listened to or groups of people I've ever heard. The way that you guys have been bringing it is so eclectic, and I appreciate the information, literacy that you guys have, and you guys just don't let anything cross your path without even confirming it. Like, hey, we don't just get to say anything on here without y'all correcting it. So I greatly appreciate it. But you did say you had some questions for those of us who are going to call in, and I was waiting for one of those random questions before I go get ready for this webinar.
Okay. You ready?
Fire away, sir.
If animals could talk, what species would be the rudest to humans?
Huh? The dog, probably.
No, you got to pick
animals one. Could talk.
If animals could talk, what species would be the rudest to humans?
It would probably be, I'll say it again, dogs.
Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Why dogs? Why dogs?
Because, well, they're one of the animals that are constantly in the homes. They're domesticated, so they're around us and see what we're doing. For most reasons, they're pets. So, of course, they would have a lot to say about us. But thank God they kind of quiet sometimes.
All right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it, Mr. Lee.
Really, that was the question.
That was it. That was one of the questions. I told you it was some bizarre, out-of-the-way, random questions.
Oh, my goodness. I'm prepared to say something. All right. You guys have a blessed day. Keep up the good work. And, again, the truth is always new to somebody, and it's never failing. So keep up the good work. I expect greatness.
Appreciate it. 833-212-1017. I got questions that's going to stump you. You're going to be like, wait, what? I'm just saying. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. When we come back, since I've been beating up people anyway, I may as well beat up the black church. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
We got southbound 43 backing up from Keefe all the way through the Marquette interchange, all the way down to the KK River crossing. On the northbound side, backed up out of the Marquette all the way to North Avenue. Westbound 94 going to be slow from about 35th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. Eastbound's got backups from Springdale Road past Barker Road. And then you're back on the brakes from about 70th Street all the way through to 35th. We've also got backups on the bypass heading westbound out of the Mitchell interchange past Loomis. Eastbound from the Hale all the way to about 51st. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast, tonight showers ending, gradual clearing with a low of 46 at the lake, 43 inland. Tomorrow mostly sunny, a high of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
You ever see the sign above the highway? The number of people that have been killed on the road? My wife, my son, and my unborn child were killed by a distracted driver. They were more than just a number.
Your phone isn't worth it. Buckle up, phone down. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Don't miss one of Milwaukee's favorite summer traditions, the U-Path Ride for Arts, presented by Miller Lite, returns Sunday, May 31st. Ride a fully closed 20-mile course across the Hone Bridge with incredible lakefront views. Kids 12 and under ride free thanks to the Brewers Community Foundation. All in support of Southeastern Wisconsin Performing Arts. 7 a.m. start, finish at U-Path Fest on Summerfest grounds. Register today at upathride.org. That's upathride.org.
You've been diagnosed with COPD, but breathing seems to be getting harder. Everyday activities, walking to the mailbox, going up the stairs, talking on the phone take more effort than they used to. You're short of breath more often. Flare-ups are happening more frequently. And slowly, life starts to feel smaller. Is this you? If your COPD symptoms are getting worse, there may be options that can help you breathe easier and get back to doing more of what matters to you. That could mean walking further, spending more time with family and friends, feeling more confident leaving the house, and getting back to the life you want to live. If your COPD is changing, it's time to have a conversation with your doctor. Visit the COPD Foundation website at isthisyoucopd.org to learn the signs of severe and worsening COPD and the right questions to ask next. Take action today. Breathe better tomorrow.
Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year. And that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay. And based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year. But the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem. But the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
This sports update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Xavier Spencer. The Milwaukee Brewers are back today after a wild Mother's Day weekend, especially for Bryce Terang. Yankees superstar Aaron Judge says Terang is doing it all right.
I didn't know much about him. I played him a couple times with Milwaukee, but after getting a chance to see him up close, be around him in the clubhouse, man, he's one of my favorite players to watch in the game right now. He's impressive to watch, man. He's going to be a bright young star in this game for a long time.
Brewers are back at it tonight against the San Diego Padres. First pitch is at 6:40. All eyes are on the Milwaukee Bucks as there are reports of the team being open for business for a Giannis trade once again. And ownership and front office officials expect to maintain their trade deadline asking price of a young blue chip talent and a surplus of draft picks. The draft is June 23rd. I'm Xavier Spencer, and this is the True Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'll get to the YouTube chat a little later and the talk and text line. However, before we were talking about 101.7 The Truth, will you continue to listen to 101.7 The Truth, yes or no? That's my first poll question of the day. Will you continue to listen to 101.7 The Truth? It's a yes or it's a no. I know some of y'all gonna say no just to say no. I get it. So, black churches. So, there's a lot of things going on in the city of Milwaukee. I haven't heard from any church leadership whatsoever. Like none. Like zero people. Like a 71-year-old got hit by a car. I'm gonna talk about that later in my top 5 at 5. Like shootings and all kind of stuff is going on. Fights where 65-year-old turned himself in. All kind of stuff is happening in the city, and I'm not seeing the church do anything. I'm not hearing them say anything. I'm not hearing them reach out for anything. I'm not hearing. And back in the day, you didn't get drama like this from older people. We're getting drama in the black community from boomers, X, millennials, Gen Z, and what's the one now? Generation A or whatever they call the new ones. We're getting it from everybody.
I think it's Alpha.
Alpha. Generation Alpha. We're getting it from everybody. Are black churches in Milwaukee still leading the community? Do they have influence with black people? 833-212-1017. This is not a bash the church time. This is not the church don't do this and the church don't do that and blah, blah. This is not what that's about. We've got certain staples in our community where we get our information and we get our leadership and we get our movement and we get our power and we get our solidarity. I think we've transferred that to politics, and politics don't work well. When we get our information from politicians, they tend to only give us the stuff they want us to hear and give us talking points, and that's it. And that's all we have. And so we have a stunted, thought pattern. We have a stunted, and we're not being successful. We're not moving forward because everybody has to think the same way. You got to believe the same way. You got to vote the same way. You got to act the same way. And it's just weird to me being in America where you can actually be who you want to be. So that's what drove the question. What were the staples in our community? Well, the number one staple, the place where you went to go get information, was the black church. It didn't matter what kind of black church it was. You went to the black church. You knew there you were going to hear the pulse of a city. I don't think the black church has the pulse of this city. I don't. What say you? 833-212-1017 is the number. Is the church viable anymore? And I'm not saying that negative because I go to church every Sunday. But is it viable? It seems one way. Like we worship but the church doesn't give anything. It doesn't present itself outside of the church. Like, I look at a church as being viable as in how many external ministries do you have? How many external things, how many touch points do you have in the community? Have you built a center? Have you built a school? Do you have a homeless ministry, a hunger ministry? You have a pantry? Like what are you doing to go out? Not stationary, hey, I'm open the door, you can come here. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where you go out in your car and go somewhere and help somebody. And I know that's not the only way you can do it, but when all hell happens in the city, I'm not hearing anything. I haven't heard from organizations like Micah. I haven't heard from anything, like nothing. And I scour the news every single. If you knew the nonsense I go through scouring the news and the dozens of websites every day. I start at CBS 58 and go to WISN and go to Fox 6 Now. I go to CNN, Fox News. As I said before, I don't touch MS Now. I just hate that channel. I go to Straight Arrow News. I go to Milwaukee Neighborhood News. I go to the Community Journal. I go everywhere I can find black news. The Root, the Griot, Blavity, Black Enterprise, News One, NBC Black, and then I just randomly go through and check what's going on, what's the pulse, right? But never see anything about church. I never see anything about, hey, church is doing this, church is doing that. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and I only got a couple minutes. What's up?
Oh, okay. I tried to call you, get a couple minutes. But anyways, you were speaking of the churches, and I was just wondering, I thought the church and politics were supposed to be separated.
No, there's actually, if you go back and read the Constitution, the only thing it says is the church can't, politicians can't tell you how to worship. But churches can have politicians come in their church. Churches can speak about politicians. They just can't endorse them per se and say you should vote this way. But other than that, if people would actually read the Internal Revenue Service tax code and read, they'll find that what we've thought it said, it really doesn't say. And when you do it, you got to be very careful.
Well, I think some churches are out there. I think you don't hear a lot about them, but like I think, was it Cedric have the school over there?
Yeah, a lot of them got schools. My church has a school. But the point I'm making is externally, there are things happening in this city, and I don't hear any comments from any pastors or ministers or imams or anything from anybody saying anything about what's going on in this city.
They don't need to. You guys tell it off. No. Every day you tell it.
No.
Troy tells it. Sherwin, he gives the history of it.
Right.
And it's a long history behind all of this, why it happens.
Sure.
Because if you start dividing a city, you start pouring out a city, you get rid of the schools, you get rid of everything that's good, that's necessary for cities to function, especially in the black area, raggedy houses, then you're going to have a dumpy place. You're going to have desperate people. You're going to have killers. You're going to have shit. And then starts the prayers anyway. There goes the church again. I'm going to pray for this person that got shot. Nobody wants to get rid of guns, and they want to put the high-powered guns out. So, hey, all I say is starts the prayers. People need to stop crying. Nobody wants to move about it.
Okay. Well, thank you much, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, Truth Nation, join March of Dimes this Saturday, 9 a.m. for March of Dimes, March for Babies at Garfield Park. I got it all wrong. I just read the whole thing wrong. Truth Nation, join March of Dimes this Saturday, 9 a.m. for March for Babies at Greenfield Park. Come together with the Milwaukee community to support moms and babies and be a part of something that truly matters. Hundreds have already signed up, and there's still more time for you to join the walk. Every step helps support healthier pregnancies and stronger families, especially for those facing the greatest barriers to care. Grab your friends, grab your family, show up, March for Babies this Saturday, 9 a.m. at Garfield Park. Sign up. You can go to marchforbabies.org. That's marchforbabies.org. 53 minutes after the hour, 72 degrees. Low tonight is 45 with a 15% chance of that thing called wet stuff, or I think we commonly call it rain. Anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me see what y'all talking about in the YouTube chat. Agreed, it has been full of substance. I love Study Hall. Babar said, I just went through at least 15 ads. I only 6% battery left on my phone. I'm sorry. Oh, damn. Babar. Oh, get a better phone, dude. Bruh. SE said, I got YouTube Premium, no ads. Wow. 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 So the question that I had, Kwanda agreed with Mr. Lee, a dog. Definitely a dog. Sincere said, I love Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, but I don't know about Ken's Off the Wall. I don't even know what that means.
They're saying your question was off the wall.
That's the whole point. These are off the wall, really weird, bizarre questions. Babar said them brown birds in Milwaukee. Curly Q say a cat. They rude, without words. Yeah, and I ain't going for that, SC. I'm loyal to my Spotify, and I can't take another streaming service. I know that's right. Definitely go home, Roger. Only Dr. Ken. Wow, she telling me to go. I am home. Milwaukee Black Talk is home. SC said, I cannot take one more streaming bill. You better give out your login, girl. Let everybody get in. No, I'm just kidding. Curly Q say, right, I maxed out 2 services ago. That's what I got to do. I got to go through and just start getting rid of some of these streaming services I have. Just get rid of it. And then get notifications so when movies come out, and then I can just watch it. I think I'll go watch that. Watch it and then turn it off. Because sometimes that's what I do. I watch it. Like I got rid of all my subscriptions but 2. And then when I want to see something, I subscribe, get my 7 days free, watch it, and then I cut it off. And I'm just saying. Also in the YouTube chat, will you continue to listen to 1017 The Truth? I told y'all, 57% said no, 43% said yes. Oh, stop. Y'all just hate change. Bill said, I love listening to your callers, but why are there so many of their calls so muffled that it is very hard to understand what they're saying? I can understand them just fine. Is it your phone or how you're listening? I don't know. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. We'll look into it. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 at 5. Up next.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 12th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the San Diego Padres.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 12th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee or check your local listings to watch the game.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Toronto said, Torano? T-O-R-A-I-N-O. Torano. Good day, Dr. Ken. I'm with Changing Belonging as I ain't trying to have us cross over. We need to community news, the real Broadway you are. Have a good day. I'm sure there were some things in between that they were trying to say, but we ain't going nowhere. Calm down. Just wait and see what happens. Don't go nowhere. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But y'all do need to cut down on y'all streaming services. Y'all done lost y'all mind. How many you got? Like, I wonder what's the most streaming services somebody, like, why would you even have streaming services? I'm like, you got 1 million streaming services. See, that's why we need a private chat. Somebody needs to start a private chat, and then we can jump in, and then we could talk real talk. I'm sorry, real truth. I hate the word real. Oh, you're real. No, that's, you either are or you. Yeah, we keep adding all this stuff. The poll isn't specific enough to answer accurately. It's really specific. Are you going to listen? Continue to listen. Yes or no? It's a yes or no. 67% said no. You don't even know why you're saying no. You have no idea. No idea you're saying no. Give people a chance. Give it a chance. Okay? Change always happens in everything, no matter what. Just come on. Don't go nowhere. Don't make me have to come after you. Hey, Zach, we just got to, start taking black cards again. Only black people listen to Milwaukee Black. I'm just kidding. LT said, I'm late, but I got Prime, Netflix, Max, Peacock, Apple TV, and some of those bundled MGM, Paramount, and other stuff with them. But you got to pay for it all. LT got some loot. Ladies, if LT is single, you might want to see some good TV. You might want to holler. I'm just saying. You just might want to go, So now it's not about your car. It's not about the house you have or the money in the bank. It comes down to what? Streaming you have. You got some streaming? What streaming you got? Hey, bro, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. How are you? So listen, what kind of streaming you got? Oh, I can't date him. He ain't got Apple TV. I can't date that person. They don't have. Like what? Yeah, that's weird. 833-212-1017 is the number. Milwaukee weather. 6 minutes after the hour. It has gone up to 74 degrees. The low tonight is now 46 degrees, and there's still a 15% chance of rain. Why is rain coming? Because it's cool outside, and then it got warmer, which means we is about to get rain. All right, what time is it? 6 minutes after the hour?
Number 5.
MPS is currently, as we speak, holding public hearings on their budget. The Milwaukee Board of School Directors today will hold a public hearing, and they said it was going to start. You had to sign up by 3 o'clock, and it's starting about now. So the hearing will be held in the auditorium of the MPS Administration Building located at 5225 West Valete. The sole purpose of the meeting is to conduct a public hearing regarding the superintendent's proposed budget for fiscal year 2027. Public testimony will be taken. You can go to the website on fox6now.com and click and watch the MPS YouTube stream. We'll see. So I'm just saying, y'all that want to say something, you probably had to go sign up, or you had till 3 o'clock if you wanted to register to have access to the virtual speaker platform where you could actually speak. We know the school board will be there. We want our raises. I mean, the school union. We want our raises with more money, more money. I am reading a book that I want to share with people. It is an extreme read, and it explains why cities like Detroit and Cleveland and Newark, New Jersey, and other cities, Chicago, Milwaukee, why things are the way they are. Why money and how city development occurs and budgets and policies and all that stuff. And so it corrected me on quite a few things about budgeting, about what you can and can't do. A lot of the issues that MPS has is because of contracts they have and policies that are in place with the state, and there's nothing they can do. And so they got to follow it. So we'll get into that. And now we have, unfortunately, a homicide update.
Number 4.
This from CBS 58. Princeton Underwood, 29, and Darren Sutton, 53, have been charged in connection to the conflict leading to the death of Dennis Johnson, Milwaukee County Courthouse public safety officer, on last Friday, May 8th. That's according to a criminal complaint. Underwood faces the most serious charge, that of first-degree intentional homicide. Johnson, who was driving a black Jeep Cherokee, was shot once near Titonia and Chambers at around 5:08 p.m. and died at 5:28. According to the complaint, the conflict started near 12th and Locust, where an argument broke out between Sutton and relatives. Surveillance video reportedly shows Johnson attempted to de-escalate the situation before returning to the Jeep and driving away with Sutton and his 2 children as passengers. The complaint alleges Underwood then chased the Jeep in a white GMC Yukon and fired a single shot through the passenger window that struck Johnson. Underwood also faces charges of attempted first-degree intentional homicide for allegedly firing at Sutton during the initial confrontation, as well as 2 counts of recklessly endangering safety for the children in the vehicle. That's according to the complaint. Sutton is charged with possession of a firearm by a felon The complaint says Sutton fired his weapon during the confrontation on 12th Street, but did not fire at the scene of Johnson's death. And yet again, in a story from WISN 12, another pedestrian struck and killed in Milwaukee.
Number 3.
Milwaukee police are investigating a deadly hit-and-run crash that killed a 71-year-old pedestrian last night. Police say it happened around 9 p.m. at the intersection of Silver Spring and Hopkins, just east of McGovern Park. According to Milwaukee police, the pedestrian entered the roadway and was hit by a vehicle traveling westbound on Silver Spring Drive. The 71-year-old died at the scene, and the driver fled after the crash, and they're still searching for the person involved. Anyone coming in contact or have information regarding this incident is asked to call Milwaukee Police at 414-935-7360. And, of course, if you want to remain anonymous, contact Crime Stoppers at 414-224-TIPS. And sometimes we have to ask ourselves, when are we going to learn how to walk away?
Number 2.
This from Fox6Now.com. Milwaukee police say a 71-year-old died after a physical fight broke out at 104th in Hampton yesterday afternoon. Officials say the victim and suspect were engaged in that fight around 4:30 p.m., and the victim was taken to a hospital, later died from their injuries. The suspect, a 65-year-old man, was arrested after he turned himself in at a police station, and criminal charges will be referred to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office. And finally, from JS Online, the Common Council they're acting again.
Number 1.
In a story by Vanessa Swales, with federal pandemic aid set to sunset by the end of the year, Milwaukee officials have been in a tussle over how to spend the money. In recent weeks, city officials learned that roughly $617,000 of ARPA, or the American Rescue Plan Act, funds have not been allocated. All the money must be spent by the end of the year and can only be funneled to city projects and programs that have already received ARPA funding. If it's unused, the feds get it back. Well, Alderwoman Marina Dmitrievich, chairwoman of the city's finance committee, said time is of the essence, is what she said on May 6th. Well, despite the pressure, council members had differing opinions on where the money should be spent. Did they ever ask us? Probably not. Resulting in hours-long deliberations over the course of a routine finance meeting, special finance meeting, and full common council meeting. Council members ultimately voted 10-5 to earmark additional funding for 2 programs. First, you ready? Eviction-Free MKE, a program led by Legal Aid Society of Milwaukee that provides legal services, representation, and education to eligible low-income Milwaukee County residents facing eviction. It received $317,000. The remaining $300,000 went to the Bridge Project from the Zilber Family Foundation, which guarantees 122 low-income pregnant individuals with unconditional monthly cash payments for 3 years. So here's part of the issue. We use money on symptoms. We don't use money to alleviate a problem. And I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. Instead of making it so that we can teach low-income individuals who are pregnant not to get pregnant until they can afford the baby, we would rather just give them cash payments for 3 years. Now, I get it, but I don't get it. And that's because of policies that we have. There are certain things money can do, certain things money can't do. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, 833-212-1017 is the number in the YouTube chat. We have a poll that basically states, will you continue to listen to 1017 The Truth? 47% said no, 53% said yes. Thank you, yes, people. Thank you, yes, people. Thank you, yes, people. Quanda says, so why answer yes or no, especially not knowing why? I'm answering the question is stupidity in your voice. Mao said all of his subscriptions have student discounts. Well, here's the question, Mao. Are you a student? Because if you're not, I'm telling. I don't know who to tell because I don't know what you got. But I'm telling anyway. 833-212-1017 is the number. So if you want to be asked a question, if you tough, Quanda probably at work. But now she's talking a lot, so she must not be at work. If you got it and you want me to ask you one of these weird, bizarre, odd questions, just line up the phones. I got enough of them. I can ask each of y'all a different question. 833-212-1017. Does anybody dare to answer a random, ridiculous, esoteric, straight-up bizarre question from Dr. Ken? That's the question. Do you? Are you? Can you? I don't think so. I think y'all be talking tough, but then when it comes time to put up, yeah, I don't think so. And remember, Mr. Lee answered my question, if animals could talk, what species would be the rudest? He said a dog. So, yep. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. You want a question? 833-212-1017 is the number. But you gotta call.
Come in with straight truth.
One can invest their whole life and effort in helping the community, and sometimes they don't get nothing back. But you know what? You keep on going with it, okay? God bless you. Happy upcoming Father's Day. And hang on in there, and Tori, don't worry about what nobody say about you, because they're going to talk about you anyway, because they can't do what you do.
Catch the Tori Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because we know you love working weekends, if it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you. From start to furnished, UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
It's Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I guess I got no takers. Nobody's tough enough to take the question. You know? Hey, Ann, astute observation. Astute observation. And that's all I'm going to say on the talking text line. Astute observation. Astute, very astute observation. So, I got questions. Anybody want a question? Tough enough? Are you tough enough? Zach is laughing at that question. Ding! Yeah. Which one? YouTube? Oh, yeah. Spot on. Ann is spot on. Spot on. There you go, Ann. Oh! Yeah, she is spot on. Let me see what y'all talking about in the YouTube chat. Y'all be talking nonsense. Got to come in here and regulate. Student discounts for your mouth. Come on. Kwanda said that part and my nursing credentials. Y'all know certain occupations have certain discounts. So you should always ask, do you give discount? I ask for everything. You got a senior discount? You got law enforcement discount? You got a professor discount? I mean, for everything. Food, computer, everything. You cheap. Yep. Aaron said, hello, Dr. Ken. Our city would rather have its low-income citizens to nurse on the taxpayers rather than fix any problems. Aaron, I got to say before, you know what? Let me just do this because I have to give y'all this book because if I don't, Kwanda will holler at me and then I'm going to get, so let me do this. I am going to go to my Amazon and I am going to tell you the name of the books that I ordered. These books literally changed my life. Matter of fact, let me just see if I can go in my email because it sent me an email to tell me the books. These books changed my life. I was so taken away by these books. So, I ordered 2 books because I came across them on a podcast. And they talked about what happens in cities and why cities break down and why cities don't have the things that they should have and why they currently. So the only way a city can raise money is, issuing bonds. And then it's based on their bond rating for how good the bonds are and how much money they can get and all this stuff. And in order to, we have these things called debt obligations like pensions and salaries and all that stuff. And so what's happening is they got to pay them. And because we had these Cadillac contracts when a city like Milwaukee might have, I'm just using just random numbers, might have had $1 million. No. Baltimore, that might have had 900,000 people in the city, right? Or Cleveland or somewhere that might have 900,000 people in the city, that then drops to 200. So now you've got more jobs in the city, but people then move to the suburbs. They spend their money, their tax money and everything in a suburb, and they drive into the city to work. So you have people working in the city making money, but all of their money goes out. And so the city has to recoup that. In the meantime, when they had 900,000 people, they were paying for those pensions. They could sign those contracts and say, yeah, we'll pay you a pension for the rest of your life. Now they can't do that because they have less people in the city. I think Baltimore is down to like 290,000 or 200 and something thousand people operating as if they have a tax base of 900,000. But when it was 900,000, they could build it. It would be like you having a job that paid you $250,000 a year. So you bought $250,000 worth of house, car, all that. You could make the payments. You had money left over. You were investing. You were saving for your rainy day fund and your and your retirement and all that stuff, right? And then all of a sudden they told you, oh, by the way, yeah, you got $80,000. And you went, what? I said, yeah, you got $80,000. So now you're making $80,000, but your debt base still, all the obligations you have to pay back are still as if you had a salary of $250,000. But all that stuff still needs to be paid. Your $500,000 house, your $50,000 car, your $10,000, $20,000 maxed out credit cards, and all that. They still got to get paid. So what do? You rearrange your debt. A city would issue a bond, get the money under quote-unquote reasonable rates that have to be paid back later. That's why y'all kids are going to have trouble in about 5 or 10 years when they become adults and they go, my taxes what? And now you're stuck. It's like you going to get a bigger loan to pay off all that, but then you still got to pay the other one back. So you say, well, I don't want that bigger loan. We need to pay off the car, so I'm going to get a $50,000 loan to pay off the car. But now you're paying all the other debt obligation and the loan back. So even if the loan was at reasonable rates, you still got to pay it. And you're stuck. Well, most cities, major metropolitan cities, that's why Chicago is going through drama. Detroit learned from it. Cleveland learned from it. Newark, New Jersey learned from it. Milwaukee has not. And we've got obligations, which is why we had to get a city tax. We got a city tax because there's only so many things the city can do to raise money. They're limited by policy from the state of Wisconsin. That's the problem. So when we scream, the state's not giving us money back, it's policy, not just giving money back. They can't. The policies in the state of Wisconsin and the legislature says this is how money is doled out in Wisconsin, even for education. I think it's called the QEO. I can't remember. I don't think so. Anyway, they have a formula that nobody understands, but they've just piecemealed it and added stuff to it and changed stuff. And next thing you know, it's this behemoth of how money comes back to a city. Milwaukee puts out a significant amount of money into the state, but we don't get that significant amount of money back. Why? Policy. Oh, you want to raise money? This is the only way you can raise money. MPS is struggling because they can only raise their money and get money in certain ways. And when you can't do it, there's nothing you can do. When the state has a policy that says it's based on the amount of kids you have. When teachers got contracts and they were really great contracts and the unions were happy and the teachers were happy, that's when we had 80,000 kids in the school system. Now we got about, 50, 60? If that. But we're still operating as if we got 80. Why? Because we have mandates we got to pay. That's why they in the state teacher. That's why they in the state pension fund. But some people not. People like me are not in the state pension fund. We're in the city fund that's still going on for pensions. And the city got to pay that. They got to put money in. So at some point, as they say, your chickens are going to come home to roost. For your grandchildren. Kathy, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Kathy.
Yeah, hey, Dr. Ken.
You can't be, Kathy, you need to be on the phone, and you can't be waiting for me to say your name on the phone for you to pick up the phone and talk to me.
Well, you were talking for a while. So I'll try to pay more attention next time, Dr. Ken.
You said that last time.
listen, Mr. Smarty. Listen, now, you get a kick out of your customers. Listen, so what do you think of the governor's thing and them talking about giving some of his surplus money back? Is that because of the election, or he feel that he may not get it passed and then normally not ever give it to us once his job position is over?
It's politicians that are both Democrat and Republican doing what they need to do so they can get a win in November.
So both of them are kind of doing it together.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, and I'm thinking, too, Robert Voss probably wants to go out, because he's been there so long, that people could say something nice about him at the end.
Well, I don't think he cares. I've met Robin Voss. He don't get two flips about what people think about him. He's there to do his job, and he's very, Most politicians don't care what people think about them until election time.
Until they don't get paid no more.
Right.
So what you're saying is that you think that's okay? I mean, I don't have a problem either way how they want to do, but I think some people, even me, I'm sick of people saying, "Oh, what about the children?" Well, we just did that with the children at the school, and we can't get it done. Okay, so my thing is that if they got surplus, it's about time they give something back to the people. Don't worry about what people spend their money on. If there's a surplus, I got to look at the numbers and how many people they're going to serve to give this money back to. Not everybody's getting any. They don't file taxes. So I like to know how much more they're going to have left over from there.
Well, not everybody should get it, because if you don't file taxes, you don't pay taxes. If you don't pay taxes, you don't get taxpayer money back.
Right. Yeah. So I like to know the amount of the surplus, which I can look it up, and then the amount they're talking about giving everybody, $300 or $600 for family.
Right.
And you subtract it off what's left. Is there anything left over for whatever they need to use it for? And like you said, with Chicago,
this is all surplus. This is all surplus. This isn't money that they got to use for something. It's surplus that's been sitting there. The governor said he wanted to give it all to education, which I thought was an idiotic thing to do.
No, first of all, I'm not with that on education. So I don't want anybody to call on the phone. Oh, what about this? What about the children? I'm going to tell you about the children. My name is Kathy. I like some money, too. Okay, I pay my taxes, and I don't want to be all the time going to children and parents who are not even working. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be funny about it, but I work every day. So if I want to go to the theater or pay $50 for a Bucks ticket or $100 for a Bucks ticket, I work every day. I deserve some good things to do, too. It ain't about all we got to keep feeding the people the poor all day long. I do that every day.
All right.
And my job, even yesterday, I volunteered to pack boxes for the, American Food, Feed the Family, whatever. I went down there on my
Feeding
own
America.
and did that, okay? Right. I do that about twice a year, okay? So all I'm saying is that if I work every day, I want some surplus back. But don't keep saying the kids, because you can't put a guilt trip on me about anybody's children ever in your life. You know why? Because the best people that know how to take care of children and treat them right is not the people who have them. Look at that family.
I won't go that far, Kathy. That's kind of insulting. Thank you much, Kathy.
Well,
appreciate you.
It's not.
Have a good one, Kathy. Goodbye, Kathy. You don't tell me what's insulting to me. And then she hung up. You don't tell me what's insulting to me. Hurt my feelings. 833-212-1017 is the number. Wayne said, Dr. Ken, why hasn't the state funding model been taken to the court as unconstitutional? Because it's not. It was passed by legislators, and that's just what we have. And until somebody goes to the legislature and changes it, it's not going to change. It's not unconstitutional. It's policy, and we've been following it for the entire amount of years. I've been living here, 33 of them, and that's what it is. Is it unfortunate? Sure. But those are the things that constrain cities so that they can't do something. The policies are the reason why the streets aren't fixed. Because in order to take money in one pot and put it in the other pot, the process is so hard. We had to get permission from the state of Wisconsin to have a tax in the city of Milwaukee. Well, one, thank God we did, or otherwise we'd have got murdered when it came to they would have jacked through. Oh, we'd have a 10% tax by now. We'd be higher than that. Because unfortunately, a Democrat has never found a tax they didn't love to put on people. The problem is the tax base is smaller. And with a smaller tax base, you got to tax people more. If I can only tax 10 people and I used to be able to tax 100, and I still need that 100, I need the amount of money that the 100 people paid, then 10 people are going to pay 10 times what they should have. That makes no sense. But that's the policy. That's the conundrum we're in. Got to jump through hoops in order to get it. So Felix said, we are all getting a rebate. I don't know. I don't think so. If you pay taxes, you get them. Felix also said, we were told we were going to get Doge money. Well, they said they were going to try to give you Doge money, but they never quite said they were going to give us Doge money. You know, they just throw stuff out there to make people feel good. And we got nothing. We're told we're going to get tariff money. You will never get tariff money back. You don't pay tariffs. Businesses pay tariffs. So if they jacked up the price and paid the tariff, they get that money back. And they've already started the process of going to court, and companies have been submitting their information on tariffs they paid, and they're going to give them all that money back. If we need extra money, got to get a second job or do overtime. That is correct. That is correct. And so Look at the people that told you were getting Doge money back. Look at the people that told you were getting tariff money back that went to court and sued. Here's the weird part. When you're listening to somebody that tells you that, find out whether or not they have the power to actually do what they're saying. We have a lot of elected officials that will tell you stuff when you're running that they're going to do stuff, only to find out later they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. 833-212-1017 is the number. Anybody want to take a question? I got one. If you're brave enough, I guess so. And now with the final traffic check of the day on 101.7 The Truth, here's Debbie Lazica.
We have a problem off the freeway system. Northbound Highway 100 is closed at Wisconsin Avenue because of a crash. Now, this is also affecting the southbound side, right about at Potter Road or Research Drive. The two left lanes are blocked with this crash, so try and stay away from that area. That'll save you a little bit of aggravation. Southbound 43, we have backups from just before Locust all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound slowing out of the Marquette up to North Avenue. We've got southbound on 41 slowing down from Good Hope Road to Capitol, northbound from Mayfair Road all the way up past Hampton. Eastbound 94, watch for a heavy ride from just before Highway 164, pretty much all the way past Barker Road, and then again on the brakes from 76th Street to about 35th, westbound from 20th Street all the way to Holly Road, and from the Zoo to Elm Grove Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, stray showers early, then partly cloudy, breezy, a low of 48. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and windy, a high of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Laziga on 101.7 The Truth.
Don't miss one of Milwaukee's favorite summer traditions, the U-Path Ride for Arts, presented by Miller Lite, returns Sunday, May 31st. Ride a fully closed 20-mile course across the Hone Bridge with incredible lakefront views. Kids 12 and under ride free thanks to the Brewers Community Foundation. All in support of Southeastern Wisconsin Performing Arts. 7 a.m. start, finish at U-Path Fest on Summerfest grounds. Register today at upathRide.org. That's UPAFRIDE.org.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Bratfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
Honest, direct, and always thought-provoking.
Even if the system don't make sense anymore. And that's the part we got to be honest about. Education is not a theory. It's not a title. It's not a category. It's a student, it's a teacher, it's a classroom, and there's learning. Everything, everybody else, including the superintendent herself, are secondary. Assistant superintendents, or whatever the heck you call them, deputy, chief of school, everybody, they are secondary if a child's not learning. The student is the number one thing there. So if we've reached the point where the only way to defend the system is to argue that keeping teachers out of the classroom is essential to education, then we're not just confused. We backwards. And when policy, practice, priorities, and money collide like that, there's only one word for all of this. Nonsense.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. Weekdays from 4 to 6. Live on YouTube and broadcasting on 101.7 The Truth.
You've been diagnosed with COPD, but breathing seems to be getting harder. Everyday activities, walking to the mailbox, going up the stairs, talking on the phone take more effort than they used to. You're short of breath more often. Flare-ups are happening more frequently. And slowly, life starts to feel smaller. Is this you? If your COPD symptoms are getting worse, there may be options that can help you breathe easier and get back to doing more of what matters to you. That could mean walking further, spending more time with family and friends, feeling more confident leaving the house, and getting back to the life you want to live. If your COPD is changing, it's time to have a conversation with your doctor. Visit the COPD Foundation website at isthisyoucopd.org to learn the signs of severe and worsening COPD and the right questions to ask next. Take action today. Breathe better tomorrow.
This sports update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Xavier Spencer. The Milwaukee Brewers are back today after a wild Mother's Day weekend, especially for Bryce Terang. Yankees superstar Aaron Judge says Terang is doing it all right.
I didn't know much about him. I played him a couple times with Milwaukee, but after getting a chance to see him up close, be around him in the clubhouse, man, he's one of my favorite players and favorite players to watch in the game right now. He's impressive to watch, man. He's going to be a bright young star in this game for a long time.
Brewers are back at it tonight against the San Diego Padres. First pitch is at 6:40. All eyes are on the Milwaukee Bucks as there are reports of the team being open for business for a Giannis trade once again. And ownership and front office officials expect to maintain their trade deadline asking price of a young blue chip talent and a surplus of draft picks. The draft is June 23rd. I'm Xavier Spencer, and this is the True Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going through these questions, and I'm like, every time I go through it, sometimes they get better and better. Wow. Steve from Glendale. You're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm fine, Dr. Ken. How about you?
I guess you and Mr. Lee are two of the bravest people in the world.
What's your question?
Well, did you see any of them that I should ask, Zach? Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to ask you two questions. How's that?
Sure.
All right. Or better yet, I'll just keep going until you say, okay, you can stop. I'm not answering that. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Would you rather know the exact day you'll be rich or the exact day you'll become broke?
Oh, the exact date I'll be rich.
Okay. If aliens landed in Milwaukee today, what food should we give them first?
A brat.
Okay.
Gotta give them something Milwaukee,
Okay, so this is something personal. What's a lie everybody tells themselves at least once a week?
A lie? I'm gonna get a good night's sleep.
I thought, and Zach said, I'm going to get that done tomorrow.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So if your life had a warning label, what would it say?
If my life had a warning label?
Mm-hmm.
If my life had a stop, you're going too hard.
Okay. Would society improve if everybody had to wear a shirt showing their bank account balance?
Yes.
Really? I think it would depress people.
I don't know. Then they wouldn't be giving away too many loans to people that didn't deserve them.
If you could erase one invention in the world forever that would make the world better, what would it be?
Well, I'm talking on one, but I'd say the cell phone.
Really?
Yes.
Then how would we talk?
Oh, like when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Stop at a phone booth, put a dime in.
You know a phone booth would probably cost about $10 right now.
Probably.
Yep. Do you have any
a lot
pets?
of people like them.
That's true.
Yes.
Dog or cat?
I've got Cat. But when my wife retires at the end of June, we're going to look to get a dog.
Today, right now, what would your cat say about you?
Give me food.
No,
he's the
about
man
you.
that feeds me.
No. Your cat is judging you. What would your cat say about you?
Oh, that I'm very nice and nurturing.
Come on, Steve. Would you rather be?
Yeah,
you think your cat would say that you're nice just because you feed them and change their kitty litter?
Well, and nurture and pet and
Okay. Would you rather be
part of the family?
Would you rather be extremely respected or extremely wealthy?
Respected.
Really? You must be a baby boomer.
Yeah.
You must be a baby boomer.
Yeah, I was born in 61.
There you go. So, what do some adults pretend to enjoy just because they're grown?
What do adults pretend? Oh, my goodness. Boy, that's a tough one.
What do you pretend to enjoy even though you really don't enjoy it?
Oh, different kinds of food. If somebody served me food that I really didn't like.
You would eat food that you don't like?
If I was somebody's guest, and that's all they were serving.
I would like to know about a person. So the food they serve, if I don't eat it, I'm not going to their house.
Well, I like pretty much everything except organs. Brains, livers, all that kind of stuff that my folks used to eat.
You don't eat liver?
If it's like liver sausage, where it's mixed with other stuff, but just plain old like liver and onions, I'm not crazy about it.
I hate liver. I absolutely, positively hate liver. What is
even the sausage? Like
yep. Don't. No. See, I don't even. If you could pick one age to stay forever, what age would it be and why?
Well, right now, I feel better than I ever did, and I'm 65. I mean, I could run circles around the 18-year-old me.
Is that because you have more wisdom?
I'm in better shape. I average 15,000 steps a day at work, and I catch 2 hours in the gym right after work every other day.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So,
and my 23-year-old son is bigger than me, and I can still whoop him in arm wrestling.
Well, that's easy to do. It's easy. So, if your thoughts played out loud every time you walked into a room, how long do you think you'd keep your friends?
I don't know. It depends if their house was messy or something. I don't.
Now, I mean, you've walked in places and thought, if somebody actually heard that and you were talking about them, how long would they stay your friend? Would they be shocked by something that you said, or have you said it to them already? Like you walk in a room and you see your friend and you go, and you haven't seen him in like 15 years, and your brain says, oh my God, you're fat. Would you be okay with every time you walked in a room, your first thought came out?
Probably not. I don't think anybody would.
Would people be kinder if everybody's life expectancy countdown floated above their head?
I'm sure they would, yes.
What's more dangerous to a person, pride or loneliness?
Loneliness.
If success required silence for a full year, could most people do it?
No.
You don't think so?
And after a whole year, you'd probably have to relearn to talk. You probably wouldn't be able to talk.
Okay.
That's a long time. That's a long time to be silent.
A minute is usually too long to be silent, but anyway. So
for a woman, yeah.
Ooh.
Bruh.
Ooh. Damn. Ooh. I'm not touching that. I'm staying away from the chat. I'm not. And then final question. What one thing people chase their whole life only to realize they already had it?
Probably love with family, friends, that type of thing.
All right. Well, thank you much, Steve. I appreciate it. See, Steve and Mr. Leo. Yes, sir.
One quick thing, Dr. Ken. I said this to you once. Before. If you ever ran for governor, regardless of what party, you'd have my vote.
Well, number one, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Number two, if I ever say I'm running for governor, find the nearest mental institution and make sure you put me in and throw away the key.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you much. Take care.
You take care. You too. Bye.
Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
This is my first time calling in, but I listen to you all the time, and I appreciate you and Elizabeth Brown and everything you stand for and everything that you do. So I want to say thank you so much for being you.
We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017.
Hey, man, this station is on fire the last couple days.
Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home. I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
At UW Credit Union, we have best-in-class technology and peopleology. Like if you lose your card, you can stop by in-branch for a same-day replacement, or you can have a new one instantly issued to the app. So whether you prefer interacting with our snappy online interface or our in-person regular faces, UW Credit Union is always here for every you. And whichever you choose, it's the best of both worlds. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Wayne said on the talk and text line, when does harm to the people of the city of Milwaukee play a part in evaluating the fairness of bad policy? That's a politician's question, but I don't think they care. Because if you fix the policy, then you don't have to worry about symptoms. You can just fix the cure. All the policy does is just put little things in to say, hey, we built houses. Yeah, but nobody can buy it, like things like that. But we'll dive into that more on tomorrow because we're going to be talking about what it takes to be a man. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show is up next. I want to say thank you for hanging with me today. Our poll, 46% said, wait a minute, I think it was like 46% said yes and the rest said no as to whether or not they'll continue to listen to 101.7 The Truth. We ain't going nowhere. We're going to be here, so quit tripping. Quit it. 64 yes. Stop tripping. We're going to be here. God bless. Take care. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate you. Deuces. I'm out.
Be quiet.
Chicken head.